Next month, we're starting a $1.3 million interior renovation project on a church, and this week we're finalizing all the smaller details. Because like most big projects, there are thousands of things that can go wrong. Materials can get missed, the scope can get misunderstood by the subcontractors, or the crew can just show up without actually knowing what's included and not included. So instead of letting that happen, we've built a very simple, easy system to prevent that. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how we're using just one simple spreadsheet to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks, and how we're making it work for a crew that isn't tech savvy at all. Because here's the thing, you can have all the fancy tools in the world, but if your crew can't use them, it's honestly no help to you. This is about building systems that actually work for the people that are doing the work. Let's get into it. The problem why big jobs fall apart is because large projects have too many moving parts to track mentally. So the common issues are materials get ordered late or missed completely, scope creep because the crew doesn't know what's included, and low estimates because something was forgotten in planning. The crew shows up, realizes they don't have what's needed, and it costs time, margin, and credibility with the customer. A simple fact is, the bigger the job, the more you need a clear roadmap before you start. And that's why we created this one spreadsheet. It's a solution that is supposed to help alleviate a lot of those troubles. So this spreadsheet is for the church that we're working on. And essentially we broke it down by different areas in terms of how the work's getting done, and we broke it down between material and labor costs. So this helps from our internal project manager who is getting a lot of the materials, and then also the subs who are providing some of the labor costs associated with it. For our business, some people do internal employees. For us, we pretty much subcontract everything out, but we work with the same subs on every single job. And for the most part, most of these subs, they primarily only work with us because we're keeping them busy. So what we've done is we've broken it up. So we've broken it up by a category. So if you see, there is the demo and cleanup, which is the first one. So remove all carpet, upper level, basic stuff. Essentially, you're just putting this in. And the best part about this is, as a company, the one thing we like to do the most is we like to use AI to alleviate as much work as we can, not replacing humans, but to work with humans. So what we're doing here for this is essentially, I took the big scope of the project estimate that we created, and essentially put that into Claude with the floor plans and drawings and diagram just to confirm that I have all the numbers right. And I uploaded both of those with a simple prompt and essentially said, hey, I have my subcontractors who are not super tech savvy, so I need you to help me to create a document that helps my project manager, who is also not super tech savvy, to take this document and make it easy. And the main thing is I don't want to miss anything. So if you're watching this video and you want some help with any of that or some automations, go to my Instagram channel, shoot me a DM, and then we can talk in terms of how I can help you set up, do some coaching for different companies. But essentially for this, very simple. So we, remove all the carpet, you just put in the number. So like, let's say that this is just the labor cost, but let's say that it would cost, I don't know, like $42.50. You put everything in. For dumpsters, let's say bathrooms, remove the sink and fixtures, sure. Let's say it's like, I don't know, $150, or let's say like $1,500. Put whatever in, and then it calculates everything there. The cool thing about this is that by using AI, I was able to create a detailed enough prompt that helps me not miss anything. So there's currently mold in the building and we need to do some mold remediation. So for the team that's going to be working in there and doing their mold remediation, we have that separately, but the team that's going to be working after and doing some of the demo, we still want to protect them. So for the AI, one of the cool things that we do is like, I'm able to put in the number of guys on each individual crews that are working in different roles. It's able to calculate how much PPE we need for like the full amount of time. So let's say 50 suits. Okay, so a Tyvek suit, let's say those are like, I don't know, I can't remember how much those are, like say like 120 per piece. It just calculates and puts a total. N95s, like 65 safety glasses, 20 work gloves, 10, whatever the case is. And it just puts everything in there nice and neat and make sure you don't forget anything. Painting, okay, so painting the walls, right? So we need the paint and the primer. It puts it separately. There is possibly like, if I really wanted to go further back into it, and the project was further out, probably for like the next model, I'm probably going to like combine the two. So paint CMU walls, we don't need to put the labor and the materials together. So primer, paint, 300 square feet, it should be able to put it all together. But yeah, you put in how much it roughly costs per gallon, everything gets totaled up, flooring, commercial, so carpet, let's say, you know, LVT plank for the hallways is like 150 per square foot. And then we need bathroom tiles, which is a different one. Let's say those are $3.50 per square foot, and it costs my guy, let's say, to install those, just again, throwing out random numbers. So let's just say that, you know, this is what's happening, and then everything literally just gets calculated in each section at the bottom. So the cool thing about using this spreadsheet, honestly, is that you can track every stage of the process. So we have it broken down by order of operation, right? The first thing we need to do is demo and cleanup. So I know that these are my expected costs that are going to have to be paid. So typically on these larger projects, there's a draw schedule. So I know that, let's say that there's 9 draws for this project, right? For the first draw, mobilization and stuff like that, it should cover the demo and cleanup. So I know from the first draw roughly how much I need to pay. Let's say all these numbers are in, and I need to make sure that I have 15K ready to pay for the crew. I know that after we do the next part, which is going to be the wall cleanup and prep, boom, there's going to be another X amount that I'm going to need to have ready. And then it helps you not just track and manage your budget, but have the materials, because the worst thing you can have is go to a job site or your crew calls you and say, hey, we're here. Can you tell me, you know, where'd you keep the paint? Can you tell me, you know, did you order this? Can you tell me, is this included or is that included? And then while you're trying to sell more jobs or manage the business or train your team or do something else to grow your business, you're focused on managing the project when it should have already been done. And then you're having to answer questions and put out fires, which honestly has become the majority of our job, is just literally just putting out fires every single day. This right here is going to help you focus and manage your company and grow it instead of just managing the individual project itself. And then again, everything is literally broken down into intricate detail. The grab bar, everything from the RFP to the scope of work that we created to the floor plans. AI is able to take all that, check everything, and make sure you have everything right there. And then, yeah, scroll down everything. It breaks it out into different areas and gives the grand total for what the estimated cost is. And the cool thing as well, like let's say that we find, let's say PPE Tyvek suit, right? So you just put the URL, just copy and paste it. So let's say most likely, you know, let's say you get it from Amazon, right? You can put it there, paste the URL and just put the sources, Amazon, or if it's Home Depot, or if it's Mid-Atlantic Roofing Supply, or wherever, or ABC, or wherever you get your stuff from, put everything there, rentals, everything there. Essentially, the whole point is you can use this spreadsheet for having everything prepared a month to 2 months before the project starts, so that when it does start and when it's time for mobilization, you have to start ordering stuff, click on some links, you know where you're going, you know how much it's roughly going to cost, and everything is just super organized, ready to go. Hope this video was super helpful. This is the first in the series of where I'm essentially just going to start going through different processes and how we're creating different things, primarily using AI. And hopefully in the future, I'm going to show you the videos how we're using like a lot more automations and agents, AI agents, to help run the business a lot more effectively and smoother, because this is 2026 and there is a huge movement which is happening, which is a lot of the people that were in the tech industry and white collar jobs are now migrating over to blue collar. So they're taking those skills and the tech that they're using in those white collar jobs and they're bringing it to blue collar. So if you don't make the shift today, there is going to be someone else or some other company that's going to come in there, disrupt your entire market and your entire industry because you're not taking advantage of it. Hope this video is helpful and I'll catch you on the next one.